Okay, so I just got done fixing the horns on a friend's F-150, and the horns quit working. I just assumed it was going to be a fuse or something simple. In the end, it turned out to be the horns themselves. Both horns quit working. When I started, I couldn't believe it would be the horns, but it turned out to be. And after I got it all done, I thought I got to make a video. This is a 17, 4 years old. If these horns went bad, I can't believe there's not other Fords out there that have done the same thing. And when I looked, I didn't see a video addressing a pretty easy fix. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you a possible try with a screwdriver right through the grill. The horns are right in here, and I think it would be doable, but after the video, you'll know what you're targeting and what you're trying to accomplish, and it's really not too bad to take the horns out. So decide what you want to do, and I'll take you through a couple of the steps diagnostically that got me to the horns, and hopefully it'll help you. This is a 2017 Ford 150, but I'm guessing that the 250 and maybe 350 are all going to be pretty similar and have similar horns. The location of the horns, I'm going to zoom in here with a flashlight and you can see them. There's one there and one right there. And while we're here, if you look at that little circle, on yours it'll be white. I dug out the white silicone and replaced it with clear in the end, but through the grill with a screwdriver, that's going to be your target. Before you go digging into the horns, you'll want to confirm that it does have power, because it's just so easy to do. Even if you don't have any tools at all, you can get it done. I noticed this is a 17, but the other years, the location of the fuse might be in a different spot. So look up your year model, determine where the fuse is. You'll want the fuse and the relay. So on this model year, it was number 43 right here. In the fuse box, it's a 25 amp fuse right here. Easy to check with a light. Should always be hot because the horn will work with the key off or anything. So if you don't have any tools at all, what you can do is take out a different 25 amp fuse and just swap it and check it that way. On this one, the relay was number 70, I think that's 75, located right here. Located right here in the box here. Again, no tools. You can swap it out with one of these back here. Just exchange it. Odds are, though, odds are, if it's the horns that are the problem, you'll hear this click. If the problem is the same as this, that it's the horns that are bad and not the fuse or the relay, you'll hear it click. You'll feel it and hear it when either someone else pushes the horn, or you can use the key fob and hit the panic button. So if you do that on the panic button and you hear this click, sort of like a flasher, it's still possible the relay isn't working. I'm not going to get into that, but well, I did on that. So the relay, I powered both sides of the relay just to confirm it had power up to the horns, because I couldn't believe it was the horns. Turned out to be the horns. Anyway, okay, so this is where I pulled the relay out. You'll see those 4 prongs down in there. So these are the 2 hots. Both of these hots are fed by the fuse. So you'll see when I touch them, my light will come on. On the other side, they're not hot. but if you jump from this one to this one, or just run battery to this one, then you'll have hot up at the horns. And I did that because I still couldn't believe that the horns were bad. But I'm saying the odds are, if this is clicking, go to the horns. You might be able to get away without taking this plastic cover piece off. If you do take it off, it gives you better visual access to what you're working on. It's held on by the fasteners that have a plastic insert that you pull up. When you pull that up, then you can pull that out. Oftentimes this top part pulls out, and then you can take that out. Either way, there's 10 of those around. It goes underneath this, but it's only held by those. It's up to you if you want to take it off or not. Okay, now to access the horns, you can get to them pretty good. This little flap right here, and there's this one push connector right here, and there's one up under there. These are the little connectors that work way better when they're warm than cold, but you just pull it out, you know that style. That gives you access to the horns, and you can get your hand in there pretty good. I've got a big hand, but it's skinny. If you got a big fat mitt, you're going to have a little trouble. But that nut right on the front there, you got to take that 10mm nut off. It's got a electrical connector. I had trouble getting that off in place, but if you take the horns off first, you can pull that whole assembly out and then access it easy after. Okay, after taking that out for the second go around, disregard my advice earlier that maybe you don't have to. Just plan on taking it out. It's way easier to see. Looking down here, you can see the horns. You can't see the nuts there, but now, okay, so with that out of the way, yeah, plan on taking it out. Make it a lot easier on you. So you can see the horns there. You can't see the nuts there. But if you look through this little crack here, not the one up on top, but the shiny one down a little lower, you can see the nut. So when you're putting the wrench on, it's just a lot easier to see. Well, I was trying to get the video to work. Just don't have enough hands. But anyway, there you can see the wrench on the nut down through that little crack. I'm going to pull those nuts off. Just crack them loose, and then I got them off easy with my fingers. Try not to drop them. So once you get both nuts out, you can fish both horns and the wire through that opening. Like that, and then it's easy to get that clip. There's this little tab there. You have to push that tab down, and then it'll slide out. So these wires are it's a wiring harness, and each horn,
I went ahead and cleared the silicone out so you get a better shot, a better look at the screw. It's a Phillips screw. Either of these screwdrivers fit in there pretty good. Small Phillips or a very small spade, but if you're going to go through the grill, it has to be a pretty long shank on it. So after looking at the video and doing all the editing, I didn't really talk about how I got them working again. But so this is the horn out with the wires off it. This is where you pull out the that white silicone and the Phillips screw that's behind there. So if you just run a jumper wire from battery to this post and this post, doesn't matter which is which, and there's no noise coming out of it, then you put a screwdriver on here and turn it right or left, and hopefully it'll start making a noise. That's what mine did, both of them. So if you're going to try the repair through the grill, this screwdriver was just barely long enough and it fit in there really nice. But I would probably try a small spade because you're going to be fighting that silicone that you can't really get out very well through the grill, and this would push in easier. Move it around until you feel it go into that Phillips bit, and I think it'd be worth a try before you pull it out. So hopefully this helps somebody out there. I'm not going to walk you through putting it back together. I think you can do that. I would suggest putting the wiring harness all back together before you feed it in there, because you can drop it and retrieve it easy to put it back up into the bracket and put that nut back on there. So good luck. Hope this helps somebody. And that's all I have to say about that. So now I got to go make a video out of it, which is more work for me than the actual repair. But once again, I appreciate other people doing it for me. So this is mine for you. Good luck.